Hi folks, I'm Brendan Kennedy, and I'm Director of Instruction at the Legacy Club at Aliquot Lakes in Longwood, Florida. And welcome to KennedyGolf.com, where our goal is to help students of every level improve their game and increase their enjoyment. So come on in, stay as long as you like. Your feedback's always welcome, and I look forward to helping you with your game. Thanks a lot. Hi folks, Brendan Kennedy here with what I think you're about to find is going to be the simplest piece of instruction you've ever heard in the history of golf. Maybe you've heard this before, I don't know. But I would venture that most people have not, because I see this demonstrated all the time on the driving range and in lessons. And it involves these things down here, these range balls that we're hitting. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people rake over a ball and hit it without paying any attention really to what kind of ball it is that they're hitting. And I'm not talking about the brand. What I'm talking about is the quality of that golf ball. Now, unless you're one of the lucky ones that plays and practices at a club that has brand new range balls 24/7, you're going to find yourself in a situation where out of a given pile of balls, there's probably some percentage of really good ones, some percentage of decent ones, and some percentage of terrible ones. So I've divided these balls into those three categories: the good, the decent, and the ugly. Okay, and there's a reason that I've done this, and it's not because I'm some sort of retentive person, but I think we need to be a little bit retentive and attentive when we're choosing the ball that we're going to hit for a particular club. Now, we don't have to get too specific on this, but suffice it to say that I would cherry pick this pile here as the best balls out of this entire pile. I put them aside for my driver. These ones on this end and the ugly pile are for my sand wedge, which usually when we warm up and start any practice session, we're going to start with a high lofted club like a sand wedge. And I think it's best to get these ugly ones out of the way first with the sand wedge. Hit this pile of pretty decent balls with your irons and, I don't know, maybe your hybrid. And then hit your 3-woods and your driver, but mainly your driver with this pile of the best balls out of this group. Now, why is that? Well, first of all, and I won't get deep into this discussion because what I'm about to say involves a concept called the D-plane, which is a three-dimensional description of ball flight. But let's suffice it to say that the only type of spin that's ever imparted on a golf ball, whether it's properly struck or not, is with backspin. There is no side spin on the golf ball. I know we think immediately when a ball curves that we put some sort of funky side spin on it, but the reality is that's not the case. The ball's back spinning, it's just that the spin axis of the ball is tilted and the ball's going to curve accordingly. Okay, so again, we're not going to expound on that right here, but the point of that is, given that information, it's a lot harder to make a high lofted club like your sand wedge curve than it is to make a driver curve. Or we could say that the other way around. A lot easier to curve the ball with a driver than it is with a sand wedge or a much more lofted club like that. Again, we'd have to get into some particulars there that are very understandable. There's some great information out there on the internet about the D-plane. A guy named Joe Mayo, a very sharp guy. He's got some great videos on YouTube about it. Perfect description. My hat's off to you, Joe. But anyways, so we hit our sand wedge and these bad balls with it. And I would hate for you to hit one of these ugly balls with your driver and put a decent swing on it, and because the aerodynamic capabilities of this ball have been compromised, i.e. you might have a crack in it or some of the dimples are sheared off of it, this ball could inadvertently curve wildly offline. And you're thinking, well, I just made some horrible swing to produce that kind of curve, when the reality is you may have put a very good swing on it and the ball just curved because of the condition of it. So let's remove that variable. okay? It's not rocket science. I don't mean to kneel here and make it sound like such, but bottom line is, let's hit our best balls, save them for the driver, so that we remove that variable. We'll know that if this ball is curving, that we've done something in our swing that has tilted the axis of the ball in such a way that it has induced a curve on that ball.